Welcome everyone back to another Dragon Ball Legends video. My name is DFree. Here today, I am joined by the homie Goresh. How you doing, man?
Pretty good. I'm here to talk about some EXs.
I always resist calling you that, man, because I just call you. I know you as Goresh. We're friends, but I don't know you as the homie. You know, that's not me, right? So yeah. How do you feel about that nickname anyway, by the way?
I actually been asked this a lot, and I don't know. As long as people like it, I'm fine with it. It's whatever.
Yeah.
It's part of my identity now, I guess.
Yeah. We could thank Truth for that.
Oh yeah.
So guys, what we're doing today for the video is we're going to be just kind of talking about what we think are the top 5 EXs in the game in no particular order. I mean, towards the end, I think we'll maybe kind of talk about a bit of a list, but I didn't want to commit to a list because my reasoning is I think that a lot of units flip-flop places in a theoretical list depending on like the team setup, and then also player to player, how much like limit breaks you have, whatever the case is, what you own, what you don't, like a whole lot of different factors. I think some of these units can flip-flop places, but we'll still kind of talk about that I think towards the end because Goresh does have his own list that we'll probably cover towards the end. But I wanted to mention there's going to be a part 2. Do you want to discuss here really quick before we get into it what we're going to be talking about in part 2?
Yeah, so we're just going to talk about the newly released LF Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the green one, and just like where he fits, how good is he compared to the other LF units, and what you can expect from him if you pull him.
Yeah, definitely, guys. You guys can check that video out right now down below in the description. So to begin, the first one we're going to talk about is one that a lot of you guys know. Everybody knows, I think. And this is going to be the EX Whis. I was going to say Sparking, but the EX Whis. Again, okay, let me just start off by saying this really quick. If you are somebody that looks at EX characters based on their rarity and just assumes they're all bad, then you're deeply misinformed. A lot of EX characters, and particularly the ones we're going to talk about in this video, are among some of the best characters in the game just because of what they do, their synergy with their teams. They're very, very good characters, right? And, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and throw out a spoiler for some of the characters we're not going to talk about, but, like, the quality of EX units is actually absurd. Like, a lot of the units that you see on the screen right now, whether they get talked about or not, are characters that are worth mention and are very, very good in a lot of different scenarios, right? And that's about as far down as I'm going to scroll right here. So, yeah, like, a lot of units are really good, so just know that, right? And if they're EX, doesn't mean they're bad innately. But Whis, Goresh, you want to talk about what Whis is good for and where his main usages lie?
Yeah, so Whis, I would say, is probably among the ones we're going to talk about the most, like, the core of the team he belongs in, and which is God Key. So basically what he does is he provides your team with an extra green card, and that's his primary focus. And his green card is also very good. It makes you just draw a whole new hand, as well as the enemy, which was never before seen before he came out.
Yeah, full hand
He also,
wipe.
yeah, he also is like extremely good at restoring your key. His key restore is very high. He heals you. He provides a buff to all your characters, especially for Beerus cards, and also just all God Key. So I mean, obviously he belongs on God Key. So I believe that's his only tag.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a red unit, but I don't think you would run him on mono red. But I mean, all around, there's pretty much nothing this guy doesn't do in terms of being a supporting unit, which is his role. So, I mean, personally, every time I use God Key, which I've been playing a lot, I bring this guy every time. I lead with him every time, pretty much, and he is a huge driving force. Once you start playing games without him on God Key, it's like a completely different team.
I don't even think that you can have even the best version of God Key without this card. He's that good. He fits too well.
Can.
Like he
Yeah,
does.
I agree.
He gives select bonuses to Beerus cards in an attempt for them to make the green Sparking Beerus better, which we're not going to really talk about him too much, but that's the thing that he does. But not only that, his synergy with the team overall is good. If you look at the characters in the God Key tag list that do good stuff with the green cards, like all the SSBs love green cards, right? Whis himself loves his green card. Yeah, especially the blue Goku, man. He's nuts with it. Like, he has so much synergy, the switch bonuses, the healing, everything. And again, he's the best red in here. I'm sorry, SSG Goku. I don't even think SSG Goku would be more valuable even as a main fighter anyway, whenever he gets buffed as a red. But SSG Goku's Z ability is nuts post 5-star anyway. So yeah, Whis is 100% and he's going to be relevant here for a very long time, I think. And it'll be interesting to see how they handle God Key when they start pushing out more of the characters a lot of people are waiting for from DBS. And we'll see how this tag evolves and how Whis' place may change. Like, if they have another unit that can do what Whis does, then he might get pushed out. But for now, I mean, you definitely need Whis on this team to run the best version of it.
Well, I mean, even if they did that, you would just run him and Whis. You could run both.
Double buffers,
And, like,
yep.
Yeah, and like, I mean, because this tag is only going to get so insane. Because think about all the units that are coming to the Gaki. I mean, you have Merge Amasa, you have Rose, you have Blue Vegeta, Blue Gogeta, you have like, I don't even know, like Jiren's going to be on this tag, UI is going to be on this tag. We have Evolution Blue Vegeta. There's literally infinite characters that they can put
Zamba,
onto this tag.
Vados.
I mean,
Any of the other
that's, I think,
angels and Gods of Destructions, maybe.
yeah, that's I think one of the reasons why we haven't really seen this tag get that much exposure recently in terms of new units, because there's just so much stuff that they can add to this, and I think all those characters that I just listed off are all like hype, huge, like big
Evolution
celebration
Vegeta.
Yeah. So I mean, this guy will always be there in the background. The only thing, and this goes for all the units we're going to talk about, is that, I mean, obviously it's much harder to pull EX units than Sparkings, which is what we were talking about earlier before the video started.
Yeah.
Kind of wish some of these were Sparkings instead of EX.
Yeah, because they're literally Sparkings in an EX package. Which the problem with that is their pull rate is always so bad. So for the people that don't know, generally on banners, unless it's a Legends limited unit, you have a 1% pull rate to pull those units. Sparking units are what, 0.4? Or no, EX units are 0.4, right?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there, which is less than half the chance of pulling the new Sparking character. When they come out with EXs and Sparkings on the same banner, you are like at least twice as likely to pull the new Sparking than you are the new EX, which makes 0 sense. Based on the rating system.
If you think about it in terms of like other rates too, like that's only 0.15% higher than a Legends limited unit.
That's nuts, man. They're close to Legends limited rarity pull rate. It's like pulling a LR on Dokkan, man. Pulling an EX.
It's lower than an LR, a featured LR on Dokkan, yeah.
Okay, we move on now to the next one. I can't do that. I get so frustrated with that. That's so stupid. So the next one that we're going to talk about here a little bit is EX Zangia. So Zangia, very, very good character. You guys might have seen her a lot lately with the added exposure of the movies team, and she is absurd, especially with the new Bojack. So Goresh, you want to kind of lead us into talking about this character here and why she's good?
Yeah, so I think she's actually very similar to Whis, in the sense that she also provides like a solid core for the movies team. She buffs the movies team with her Z ability. Her green card is also very, very good. She doesn't hold a green card, but she gives 20% of damage inflicted for all allies, and then she also increases arch card draw speed for 1 level for 15 counts. And the thing with that is she also draws a special arch card guaranteed with her main ability, so you can pretty much always get one. She has a death buff where, like, I think she gives damage inflicted, and then she reduces the cost of stuff.
So what she does when she's
units.
KO'd is plus 30% to damage inflicted for your allies, inflicts all enemies with the downgrade plus 5 to strike and blast arts cost, which is crazy. And also no switching for 5 counts. That's a lot. And then exclusive buffs for Bojack, yes. Plus 20% to damage and minus 10 to blast arts.
Yeah, which you're probably going to have at least. If you're running the Optimal Moves team, I think you'd have full power Bojack on here with her.
Yeah. Well, this seems like it was designed for the yellow Bojack because the blast focus, but I mean, full powers.
Yeah, I mean, full power Bojack also does respectable blast damage.
Yeah. As most units do nowadays anyway. They go back.
Yeah, and then her special move is also really cool because it actually inflicts plus 5 to substitution count, which is something that we've never seen on any other unit.
Definitely. I don't think it's very common at all on special move.
So, I mean, like, just as a standalone unit, she does a lot of damage. Her Q restore is pretty good. So, I mean, it's just all around, she's a very good unit and a good core for the movie team that needed help, like, really badly when she released.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit there, man. I'm sorry about that.
Am I?
I heard you. I can hear you fine, but you're kind of getting a little robotic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you're good.
Okay.
So yeah, he pretty much touched on everything. Zangia's and her strike damage is nuts, and she goes into strike sidestep combos because of her draw speed level. She's just good, very good.
Yeah.
And again, all these characters are basically Sparkings in EX clothing, right? Definitely. I don't think you necessarily. Okay, let me actually look at the tag list. You might actually really want. Okay, let me. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I was going to say that I don't think you can have the best version of this team without Zangia, but I think that's true. I think that you do need Zangia, or not true. I guess you need Zangia in your team. Long story short, I mean, but this
Yeah.
team at least has other good fighters. They have Vegeta, they have Gogeta, they have Slug, they have Cooler. They can pull from other teams like Android 13 if they want to. But
Yeah, but I
Zangia
think
synergizes
that
too well.
detracts a lot from the usability of the team too, because like if you're using units that don't buff the other units on your team, it's gonna affect like how much damage you can do and how much damage you can take. Which is why I was saying earlier to you that the movie team was not really the best team right now. I don't think.
Yeah.
But I mean, still good. It's just like when you start pulling units from other tags that aren't contributing to like the overall ability bonus of your team, you're gonna feel the effects of that.
Yeah, definitely. So that's one thing that's exclusive pretty much to the movies team is that they like to try to borrow fighters from other teams, which is not always the best thing. So Zangia, I think, definitely is their best blue fighter for that actual like team construct. So when we go back and we talk about EXs here, we still have a few more to mention. One that I want to jump to next is one that you guys probably didn't expect to see on this list. I can't even find him. There he is. Goresh's favorite EX. The man Berta. So Berta is actually a free-to-play unit up to 3-star. You can summon him further than that, and when he gets to 5-star, he's pretty freaking nuts. The Ginyu Force team as a whole at 5-star is really nuts. But Berta is one of the most damaging EXs characters in the game, just in general. His special move is ridiculous. He does a lot of Vanish Restore. Goresh could explain better than you, the Frieza guy that he is. Or better than me, excuse me, the Frieza guy that he is. So go ahead and jump in here with this guy, because I just, man, he is really good.
All right, so basically, what I get with this guy is he doesn't do necessarily the most strike damage, and he's a strike-based character, he's melee type, but his Q Restore and Vanish Restore are the two biggest, I think, assets for him. His Q Restore, just base, is pretty much 2,500, which is pretty high, and then he can get a green card. I mean, does he get a green card from his main ability?
He gets the blue.
The blue card. Okay. His green card, which, I mean, it gives you 20% strike damage and then 30% key recovery for 20 seconds. And stacking that on top of such a high key restore already is really good. His special move is baseline 35 cost because he gets, I believe, is it -5 on special move arts cost per Frieza Force battle member?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, he restores 40% Vanish Engage on hit for the special move. So if you're, let's say you vanish something, and then you use your special move, you're going to have basically a half-filled Vanish Gauge immediately.
Not to mention, the main ability gives him 50% Vanish Engage recovery for a short amount of time, but he gets it.
Yeah, so basically, if you do that and your opponent doesn't immediately shoot a blast darts at you or just do something, you're going to have a full Vanish meter again, and you could just stay in for even longer.
Yeah, he's pretty nuts.
Yeah. He also gets 35% strike damage for 20 timer counts on the main ability, and then he gets, I think that's 45% because he gets 15 per
45.
So that's basically 80% strike damage just for popping the main ability.
Also, when he evades an attack, he increases his card draw speed level by 1 for 5 counts and gets a special move damage bonus. 20% special move damage when he evades an attack. This is like such a synergistic build. Yeah. It's like he can go into a combo on you, but what he really wants to do is just vanish. And then when he vanishes, he gets his freaking vanish back by the time the combo's over anyway. And his special move will do a ton of damage. And the special move even restores vanish for him. And if you really want to play off his vanishing, here's the deal. He has an exclusive equip that does buff blast attack, but gives him up to 10% more vanish gauge recovery.
So, yeah, plus you're mostly going to be switching this guy out of Ginyu.
Yeah. Purple Ginyu is crazy to switch out of. So he's really good. EX Berta, if you haven't seen him in practice, is ridiculously good. He does a ton of special move damage, and he basically is a character that, if you don't, like Goresh said, shoot a Ki Blast at him immediately afterwards, before you know it, he'll have another vanish, and he'll just basically solo you. So
if you don't, I mean, yeah, like you said, if you don't do that immediately, he's going to be able to just stay in like infinitely pretty much. I think this guy is pretty much the reason why Ginyu Force is viable in terms of the top tier PvP. Like you can play a Ginyu Force team and be number 1 in a season, I feel like, because of this guy.
Yeah, him and a couple of other options on the team, like the Ginyu and the Ginyu Goku, I think, and stuff like that. You can be pretty competitive.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump into one that's pretty new. You guys have probably seen him in action. I think he's been touted as being obviously this good anyway. And again, these are in no particular order. But I would like to from here kind of just shoot through some of these last ones pretty quickly because the video's getting a little long, and I just wanted to talk about Goresh's order anyway a little bit. Brawley. So Brawley is ridiculous because he is one of the most damaging characters in the game. When people get him to 7-star, he's going to be absurd, 50%. Z ability bonus, pretty crazy. Even outside of that, I myself did a 0-star showcase for this guy, and he was nuts. 0-star showcase. So what he does, long story short, is he wants to kill either Gokus or Saiyans or Hybrid Saiyans because he has versus those types of characters buffs. 35% strike damage versus Goku can't be canceled, plus 35% of blast damage inflicted versus Saiyans or Hybrid Saiyans can't be canceled. It's worth note that he gets 35% to both stats versus Goku because Goku is obviously a tag Saiyan character. And then also, when he is switched to standby, he gives yellow or blue characters a 25% damage inflicted bonus for whatever reason. And then on top of that, though, he inflicts the enemy with attribute downgrade plus 5 to strike and blast arts cost for 10 counts. So you have a situation where Hit is an absurdly good character, but what will limit Hit in the game's progression is the yellow typeset that he has, yellow, blue, and extension green typeset that he needs on his team to really maximize Hit's uniques and stuff. But Brawley fits into that perfectly. Like, he is absurdly good with Hit, and not only that, he can switch out into Hit and give Hit even more damage for whatever reason. But then on top of that, though, Brawley's green card is busted. Destroys all your strike and blast arts costs and draws 1 new blast arts card, and then plus 100% to next blast or special move arts damage inflicted. Can't be canceled, can't be stacked. He's a monster. And his his main ability gives him key, increases arts card draw speed, and makes his blast cards cost 15 key. Why?
I was just about to talk about it because I feel like that's the biggest part about this kit that makes me go. Because I remember when I first looked at the details of this guy, I saw his main ability and I was like, how is this allowed?
Yeah, like why?
Because whatever you see, the thing with me is whenever I see draw speed comboed with reduced cost, it's like, you know how much that enables you to like continue combos and like with like charge step and stuff like that. It's just like if you have like a full hand of blast arts cards, this is gonna go on for like 7-8 arts cards.
It's what's like, allowed for. It's what has allowed for like GT Goku to still be incredibly good.
Yeah, I agree.
That combination is nuts. Like the draw speed up, in GT Goku for a short period of time gets double draw speed. He even gets draw when you draw blast, you get damage bonuses like and reduce cost. Like that character is so good because of this exact same model. And this Brawley just damages so much. He even has a no switch clause in his unique. They can't switch for 3 counts whenever he comes in. And also he has a 35% downgrade to damage received to the enemies. What the hell? Oh my god.
And speaking about GT Goku, they both actually have very good Z abilities too.
Yeah. This is nuts.
I mean, this guy has you can get up to 50% to this guy for 2 stats. On 1 unit. That's like Red Vegito levels of busted.
Yeah, Red Vegito has got like the best Z ability in the game. So like him and Purple Vegito requisitely at 7-star. So the last one here, we're gonna talk about Nail. Nail is actually awesome. Nail came out not too long ago, maybe about a month and a half, 2 months ago. A lot of people are now getting him because he is on the step up banner. A lot of people are getting him for the first time, and Regen is back prominently in the meta, I'd like to say, because Kid Boo's introduction. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, plus the fact that this guy's on the banner too.
Yeah, and he's there too. So it's almost like Regen's picking up 2 new characters for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And he just does a ton of damage. So the thing that I immediately noticed about this guy when he came out was, oh hey, he's got STR Dokkan. He's got the Red Gogeta's unique built in, but like way better. Why? Because the Red Gogeta, if you recall, each strike or blast card he does gives him a 10% exclusive buff to each card. Like if he uses a strike card, he gets a 10% strike damage bonus, so on and so forth. Same goes for blast cards, which was really good and still can be good, I'd say, today. But Nail gets general damage inflicted, which is way better. And not only that, his special moves do a ton of damage. He draws a special move with main. He restores ki enough to do that, and also reduces damage received on his main. Like, I don't know what they did here.
Yeah, so also just going off of that, they also made this guy sort of have like a baby version of Super Vegeto's unique.
Yeah.
Because the 10% damage inflicted for every time the enemy uses a Striker Blaster card. So they have that, and within that same unique, he has Gogeta's unique. and also, that's not it, because he also has another.
Yeah, the last part I always forget about.
He gives buffs when he dies to regen you.
I always forget that. Why does he do that? I mean, I get why, because Nail, he gets defeated and yada yada, Piccolo yada. But like in the context of this game, that's so extra.
I know.
Every time he lands a card or he gets hit with a card, he's getting bonuses. And then on top of that, when he's KO'd, he gives bonuses.
Yeah, it's literally like an EX version of Super Vegito.
And not only that, too, this is one thing that's not really talked about a lot with him. And I'll read it. Plus 35% to blast damage inflicted for 15 counts. Nullifies abnormal conditions for 15 counts. And afflicts enemies with the attribute downgrade plus 20 to special move arts cost for 15 counts when he enters the battlefield. He makes their special moves cost ordinarily 70 ki. Why? He does so much special move damage. He starts off with a double boost for regen, which is crazy good. Is starting off just at 1 star. It's double boost, strike attack and blast attack. Like, Nail is phenomenal. Like, I have a lot to say about Nail because I had great luck pulling him. Sorry, Goresh. And I've used Nail a good bit.
No offense taken.
He's really good, man. So, Nail he's awesome. So I want to kind of just end things off here with your list, and you can kind of just shoot them out real quick. What your top 5 order would be.
Yeah, it's really hard because they're all so good. And I feel like a lot of people are going to disagree with my list, and that's fine. I mean, I don't have like half of this list. Well, I don't have Nail and I don't have Brawley. So I'm just basing this ordering sort of just off of like their details plus what I've seen in PvP, played against, saw on YouTube, stuff like that. So my order would probably have to go Nail as 5, Zangia as 4, Whis as 3, Brawley as 2, and then Berta as 1.
They're definitely going to disagree with that.
I feel like you would even disagree with that.
Yeah, I would.
Especially with Berta at 1. I just feel like Berta is so insane. Like I feel like Berta is the only unit in this list besides Brawley who can single-handedly carry your team and win you a game just by himself.
Yeah, I think that's fair based on the team he's coming from. Like with the switch bonuses from Ginyu too. I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
I guess if I had to gun to my head, I had to make a list. I'd say my number 5 would probably be Zangia. Number 4 would be Berta. Number 3 would be Nail. Number 2 would be Whis, and number 1 would be Brawley.
Yeah, I feel like most people would say Brawley. I mean, for me, just looking at Brawley's details when he first came out, I said he was like a top 3 unit in the game overall.
Yeah,
but I don't know if I would still say that. I mean, it's hard to say too because I feel like nobody has him with a bunch of because he just came out and they did the thing where they didn't put the 999 Z power with him, so like no one has him at like above 3-star.
Yeah, he's never on banners.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I feel like Brawley's kit is probably better than Berta's is, but from what I've seen, Berta's.
And I said it earlier in the beginning of the video, but like the unit quality for EXs here, just to wrap up, is that we didn't mention other cards. That doesn't mean they're not good. Like a lot of them are really good. 13 is really good. Evil Boo, really good. Bojack, really good. EX Beerus, damage is insane. There's a whole bunch of them. I'd be remiss not to mention Crillon because it's Crillon. Like there's the whole Ginyu Force team is really good. Sans Jace, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, even some of the ones that have been buffed recently, like Third Form Frieza.
Yeah.
I have Third Form Frieza on my optimal Lineage of Evil team. He's there. He's on the bench right now, but even if you decided to bring him in, like a battle, his defense is like really good. Like you can rely on him to eat a rising rush.
And his damage is decent, and he can also rely on the blue cooler switch bonuses. So like a lot of these characters are good, and then you have the female warrior ones that are still pretty good that came out a while ago, like B-Pan, EX Mai, EX Bulma, EX Videl.
Oh yeah, Videl's still really good.
Yeah, Videl's still really good. She was definitely, I think, like maybe in like what top 10. I think probably. I think that's fair.
I think when she came out, she was the best EX in the game.
Yeah, she was when she came out. So yeah, there's a lot. So anyways, we hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you check out part 2. Link will be down below. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. We'll catch all of you in the next one.